Get ready for your next comic who helps K through 12 students get excited about science by making educational videos. This person is also an aspiring YouTube celebrity. Please give it up for Rahid Patel, everyone.
How you guys doing tonight? Awesome. So you know those times when your friends ask you to go out, but you say you have plans, and your plans are really to just sit in bed and watch Netflix by yourself? Well, that's what I do. Every Friday and Saturday night. And as I'm scrolling through the website, I get to that section that says something like, because you watched Nick Cage steal the Constitution, you might like watching Nick Cage ride a motorcycle with his head on fire. So that's kind of how I got into grad school. I applied to a Ph.D. program for robotics, and this professor emailed me back saying, "Hey, I see you have an interest in robotics. Perhaps you'd like to try your hand at additive manufacturing." My first question was, what the hell is that? And so I looked it up the only way I knew how. I binged it. Turns out, additive manufacturing is the 3D printing of metals. And I thought that was really cool, so I accepted his offer. Like, this is the future, people. You can print rocket parts, you can print custom implants. Like, I was working on the front line of this amazing new technology. And you know what? I fucking hated it. So, at first I started off without knowing really anything about the field. I was in a constant state of confusion, like I am when I watch the first 95% of every Black Mirror episode. I honestly thought that metal 3D printers would work by spewing out hot metal from a nozzle, kind of like the plastic printers do. But I was completely wrong, just like Blockbusters was when they decided not to go onto the internet. So the 3D printers work by using this powdered metal. And they make this powder by literally crushing up metal into a fine powder, similar to the consistency of cooking flour. And this printer then moves the metal into a thin layer over a certain plate. And then a laser shoots down at the metal powder and melts it into the particular shape of the layer you want. This laser is very powerful and very precise, a little bit like Thanos' finger snap. And because it's so precise, you can build almost anything with it. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen the details on plastic 3D printed parts. Well, the metal 3D printed parts are even more detailed. So literally anything you can dream of, any little funky shape with holes in it or whatever it is, you can print it. That's why I was super pissed when my boss said that all I was allowed to print were these small rectangular bars. Something about, oh, we have to do these tests in a standard way. And I was like, okay, fine, it's science, standard, yeah, that makes sense. But you know, metal Yodas wouldn't hurt every day. So before I can make any of these parts, I have to put the metal powder in the machine. And apparently, small metal powder particles and your lungs don't really get along. So before I can touch this powder, I have to put a face mask on, a respirator. And that part was actually kind of cool. I felt a little bit like Walter White in Breaking Bad, except I didn't make nearly as much money. So another problem with 3D printers, or 3D printed metal parts, is that once they come out of the printers, they have like these pockets of trapped gas, which make them not as strong. So basically, metal 3D printed parts are a little bit like Shia LaBeouf, full of holes. So part of the reason I have to make these metal bars, these stupid metal bars, is so that I can slice them up and count the number of holes inside. And most of the time, like even the worst parts are 99% dense. But the industry, they don't think that's acceptable. They want 100% fully dense parts. So in that sense, the industry is a little bit like my dad when I bring home a 99. Why didn't you get 100? This was the point where I started to question if I actually liked what I was doing. Like, I'm really interested in the big questions out there, like how did the universe start, or what is the nature of consciousness? Every night I would go home and watch those documentaries on Netflix. You know, the ones that all kind of say the same thing but have slightly different titles? Like Blue Planet, Planet Earth, Our Rock, One Strange Rock, Blue Planet 2, Planet Earth 2. I didn't know there was a second Earth. Every night, David Attenborough's voice would be running through my head, telling me things like, look how diverse life is on this planet, look how connected we all are, look how much more we have to learn about the human nature and our universe itself. And then every morning, I would go into work and think about how I'd be spending the next 5 years trying to get these stupid little metal bars to go from a 99.5% dense to a 99.6% dense. And I don't know about you, but I hated it. This was not riveting to me at all. Like, I did not love this. I was done with these stupid holes and these stupid metal Jenga blocks. I had the same thoughts running through my head that I did watching this recommended Nick Cage movie. I had to quit. And so I did. About a year after I started this Ph.D. program, I left. And I'm really glad that I did, because honestly now, I'm doing a job that I really love. I work at the MIT Museum as a curiosity correspondent. I had to bing that job title too. Basically what I do is I go around MIT and make fun science videos about all the amazing work that's going on there. And I honestly love it. There's just only one catch. Every morning when I walk into work, I have to walk through the halls of MIT. And the hallway next to the one I work to, the one I have to walk through every morning, is used by MIT's additive manufacturing. on there, one of their biggest academic posters is the title of a study on eliminating holes in additively manufactured bars. All right, you guys have been great. Thank you.